Hey, hi guys, welcome back to our video again. Today we got to test ride this Honda Wave 125. So this is the 2019 Honda Wave, which is the last one that is available in Singapore before the Euro 5 emission actually kicks in and kill this whole range of bike. This is the third Honda Wave I have ever owned. I will share with you the reason later on why we always goes back to Honda Wave. I mean, this is the only bike that I ever repeatedly bought it in different model year. Generally, this is a cup. It's like a half-breed between a manual bike and a scooter. So you get your Kickstarter, you get your brakes, and a proven 50 years of history on this engine. On the other end is this very interesting universal gear. Some call it the racing shift because it's not, it's a centrifugal shift, one directional. Here is to increase gear, here is to decrease gear, and at the end of the day it just go back one cycle. It will go 1, 2, 3, 4, neutral, and then 1 again. So you can see that it doesn't have a clutch, so it's fairly straightforward, simple bike. Like a scooter is designed, the cup is designed for a city commuter. It's easier for you to go up and down, unlike a conventional bike. So it's a pretty low bike. As you can see, I can flat foot even on the slope. Like all scooter, it comes with a main stand, and then it comes with this chain cover, which is wonderful because generally it protects the chain from all weather and sand bit. It makes maintenance low and also chain long lasting. Right. This is a sport version that comes with a alloy custard rim. The standard should be a spoke rim. So this is like a sports version. So of course you can put like boxes here and it doesn't feel weird. And of course the bike has a very enormous under seat storage. That you can fit a large size helmet, open face. We tried a full face, it doesn't work. So let us go for a test ride. So you can see it's pretty low. After removing the main stand, you can see my feet is clearly bent. My knees both and leg fully planted. Okay, turn on. It's a daytime running light and a white LED. So don't need caution, just start. And all you need to do is just engage it in gear 1. Okay, it's a little tumbler. So basically it's a 125cc air-cooled engine. It produces about less than 10 horsepower, 9 point something. So no issue with doing roundabout. So all good. So you don't need to clutch in when you stop in any gear. That's just like a scooter. So once you throttle and it will go. So to change gear, or the gear 1 is very short. So to change gear, you will need to close the throttle and then step on it. I mean, you can do without, like, okay, still the same, but you will feel that jerkiness if you force the gear in without closing the clutch. So now we are at gear 4. If I step forward, okay, I am at neutral. If I use my heel to step backwards, it will go back to gear 4. Okay, so now 1, engage, gear 2. So it's a very easy bike to adapt to. So generally it's very beginner friendly because you don't need to remember the down one, up the rest, and then inverted when you are downshifting. This is pretty standard, so everything is one directional. If you do it wrongly, you just need to, do it again, and then it will basically recycle back to the initial state. Okay, the handlebar is like a bicycle. So the handlebar is a little bit narrower as compared to your normal handlebar. The seat is considered bigger than your normal manual bike, but it's not as huge as your scooter. So it's on the pretty much the comfortable side, and there's a lot of cushion, you can feel it. The other thing that is different from a cup, a clutchless cup, to a scooter is you can drag gear to bring it up to speed. Unlike a CVT, basically that's not an option. And also it's operated in chain, so the interval or the durability is higher compared to belt that you need to change more often as compared to a chain. And its suspension is decent, but it's not the best, okay, for bumpy road. It's bearable, it's very bouncy, it doesn't really bottom out, but it just keep on bouncing around. So I'm gear 3, I can start off at even gear 2. Okay, of course it will be very slow, but the gear 1 is really very short for maybe steep climb or just moving off. I find most of the time I'm using gear 2 and 3. Probably a gear 4 is for higher speed cruising. So you can very easily squeeze through this slow moving traffic. Okay, this is where this bike belongs. That's why this kind of bike cups are really popular in Southeast Asia, where general traffics are slower and much more congested. The acceleration is pretty slow, but very progressive, I would say. It doesn't just burst out, it slowly, it will build up slowly, not as fast as you wish it could, but at least it's very predictable. Okay, the brakes are okay. I mean, definitely not very confident using the brake on higher speed. It's a very light bike, so it's very easy to control it on lower speed. But of course, it's not something that you can go really low because the tire profiles are very slim. But the good thing is because it's a 17-inch tire as compared to your regular scooter, which are 12, 13-inch. So this guy does not really wobble that much on higher speed or whenever it runs through some markings or some like a manhole. But if you are riding in between seams, that means something like all these lines, you generally feel that your tire slip in and then slip out because the profile is really slim. Okay, and so you really need to press quite hard on the brake to make it work. Okay, just go back to 1. So you don't really need to step on your brakes or hold on your brakes when it's on stationary, even the gear is engaged. Okay, let's try a U-turn now. Oh, this is a big U-turn, so not that bad. Okay, quite light as I expected. The ergonomics of this bike, just now we mentioned the handlebar is a bit small. I think it's just like your scooter is a bit low. So if you are a taller rider, you have to slouch in to ride this bike over a longer distance. Basically, it's not very comfortable because your neck and your shoulder, because you have to hunch in. But if you are a smaller rider, then this will be perfect for you. And I reached gear 4 pretty early. Okay, the benefit of having this 2 pedal is you will never need to hook and get your shoe dirty. Or sometimes when you hook too much, there's a lot of abrasion on your left toe where your shoe starts to, deform, change color, or get dirty. You can open the throttle while increasing speed. It's just that it's not smooth. So right now we will move off to the highway and then share some experience on how this Honda Wave feels on a higher speed. So on lower speed you feel the tingling feeling on your handlebar. So far that's quite common for smaller cc air-cooled bike. On higher speed it still exists, so it doesn't really smoothen out itself when the rev goes higher. And by the way, there's no rev meter here, tachometer, that you can monitor your rev. So if this bike is designed for beginner and friendly, easy usage, why would that user need to monitor its RPM constantly? So everything is very clear cut. You just have your fuel, speed, gear, and some other indicator. Okay, the benefit of a clutchless system or a scooter is generally like this. So slow moving traffic, on and off, suddenly speed up, closing the gap, and then slowing down. You don't really need a lot of clutch in or gear shifting. And because this bike has a very short gear ratio, so most of the time If you are moving distantly, you can use between gear 2, 3, 4, interchangeable. It's just that the acceleration is not there. Okay, now we are entering a higher speed highway. Same goes with all the other 2B bikes. If you are climbing up hill, basically the acceleration is pretty weak, okay, because it's lack of power. And it's pretty hard to overtake. You can see that overtaking takes some time and it's quite dangerous if you are caught in a maxed out position and the car didn't see you. So like we mentioned, cruising at 90 is not an issue. It's just that it's not comfortable. You can see that the whole steering is wobbling. So at this cruising speed, you better have enough distance for braking. It doesn't have enough stopping power to stop within a very short distance. So let's go back to the middle lane to slow down our speed. It's climbing, this is at full throttle, but the acceleration is lagging if you're at the wrong gear. So this is one of the weaknesses on your smaller bike as well, the lack of power and acceleration. So you probably have to match the gear correctly in order to squeeze all the power out of it, and it doesn't have a lot. So back to the topic where we say that this is the only bike that we have repeatedly purchased it. Okay, there are three core reasons. One is because it's a very easy to maintain bike. It's very fuel economical. So basically this I model clocks about 62, 63 kilometers per liter. Okay, I own the S version, which is a carburetor model. It can clock around high 40s, and the parts are really cheap. So that brings us to the second point, which is repair. Because the parts are cheap, the engine and the platform itself has been around for more than 50 years. Honda Gram, MSX, and your Honda Monkey is using this. CT125 is also the Hunter Cup, Super Cup. They are all using the same platform, and with its long history and mass production, the parts can be relatively easy to be available, and also the price are not that expensive. So it makes the long-term ownership of this bike really at ease. And of course, the third thing is the reliability, which is also closely related to the first 2 points. That's why you see a lot of hardcore commuters chosen this Cup or this Honda Wave as their transport, because every day you wake up, you will know that this guy will definitely work and bring you to the place that you need to. As long as there's fuel inside, it's ready to go anytime. Even if you didn't start it for many weeks and the battery is flat, you still got your Kickstarter. Only situation where this doesn't work is that you run out of fuel, number one, or your tire is missing. And those are quite major issue. You can ride it really slow speed because it's very light. It's just like a mini bicycle. Okay? It's really easy to handle. So these are the above 3 reasons that the Wave is really a legend, I would say. So if you really don't know what to buy or you just need a bike, the Honda Wave is a really good choice. You will never go wrong, except 2 things. It doesn't have enough power, and on top of that, it's a very, very Southeast Asian kind of design, kampong village kind of design, because you see them using this. And of course, why they use this is because of the 3 reasons: easy to maintain, reliable, long-term ownership is affordable. The Southeast Asia kampong image, okay, doesn't really gel well with, I would say, younger riders or riders with an impression that riding bikes should be cool, because the Honda Wave is too functional to be considered as lifestyle riding. It just does the job and it doesn't give you a lot of excitement, but it just delivers. Alright guys, thank you for watching our video. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye bye.